On behalf of the school management, staff, and students, I am privileged to introduce to you all our chief guest and judge for the day. Brother Nisaar Nadiadwala, popularly known as Nisaar Bhai, is from Mumbai. He is a consultant for many Islamic schools and a well-wisher of Al-Basheer International School. He has been a public speaking trainer for past 22 years, and some of his students are prominent influencers on YouTube. He has been chosen as a top writer by the world famous website Quora.com. He writes blogs for mybetterhalf.com and regularly articles for Al Jumma magazine too. I request our chief guest to please share his valuable words with us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nahmaduhu nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. It was one of the finest performances, and I've seen a lot of improvements among the participants as compared to last year. With regards to public speaking, and I know that most of you are upcoming speakers, especially those boys and girls who are waiting for next year to participate, and those who are already speaking and those who have not qualified on the final day. But let me tell you that public speaking is done by everybody. Sometimes you travel in a train and you see a hawker selling, shouting and selling his products. When you go to the reels, people come and tell you about their products and services and political opinions. They even share with you through their podcast. So public speaking is now everywhere around us. You cannot exclude it. The way we are studying maths, science, English language, and computers, public speaking has become a compulsory subject now, whether you like it or not. But if you make it easy, it can help you grow in your profession, in your personal relations, as well as whichever field you go. Because human being differs from animals in terms of communication. Allamahul bayan, Allah says that He has taught mankind to convey. Bayan means to convey, to speak, to communicate. But alas, what happens is that most of us, and many of us who top in universities, in colleges, in schools, there are toppers even in English literature. But when it comes to speaking, we are unable to express. Some of us are afraid to face an audience. Some of us require immense confidence from a mentor or a coach. Why does it happen to us? It is because of our education system. Throughout 10 years of our schooling life, barring a couple of early years, nursery, first and second standard, the rest of the years, you count it, including the university years. All these years, we sit on the bench. And the most common dialogues, global dialogues in all schools by teacher is to keep quiet. And we remain quiet till we step out of the campus. And then we realize that we shouldn't have been kept quiet. Otherwise, we would have been speaking perfectly in interviews, getting along with spouses, expressing our views, reasons, ideas, suggestions in public, in private, before camera, before an audience. But we realize that we are not allowed to speak for 15 years, and then we come home for 3 hours, we are completing journals, and then 2-3 hours, we are watching television, somebody else is speaking. So when do we speak? When do we communicate? And that's why we require a lot of training, a lot of pushing and dragging on the stage. Then some of us are able to speak. Though we are knowledgeable, it becomes so difficult for us to think and speak. it becomes difficult for us to make a talk, to build up a strategic content for a public speech. Most of us are unable to even argue or reasons also. Soon it turns into a dispute because of lack of communication training in our school days. Till primary, we have poetries and storytelling, but the moment we step into the 5th standard, we are not allowed to speak except some sessions of public speaking, that's it. But the rest of the time of our schooling and college and university days are only passed listening to the teacher, completing the journals, that's it. Standing at the foot, gazing at the sky, we don't reach there because we have never tried. So these are the occasions. These are the occasions where the students get a chance to express themselves. But these opportunities should be extended in schools and other events of schools, like a history day, like a poetry recitation competition, like a debate club in the school. There should be no less than 12 to 15 occasions every year that a child who is interested in public speaking can come and convey, because public speaking is now turning into a very quick profession. It is turning into an industry. I remember there was a time when there were very few public speaking coaches. Today we have YouTubes to give us training. We see other speakers and we start speaking like them. Today there are accent trainers. Today the ready-made content is available. Plenty of opportunities. We only require some opportunities to present. You know, in the Western countries now, for the past 20 years, I've been studying, most of these universities have tournaments, debate tournaments, public speaking tournaments. They call it tournaments so that the child enjoys it instead of getting stressed up. There are debates and there are websites where there are debating topics to practice. There are websites where you can improve your public speaking skills and give tests and they give you a result. Now there are also ready-made apps available for public speaking trainers and learners. There are apps. They will grade your speech. Before you come on the stage, you're already graded 10 to 15 times. But let me tell you something. Being a natural speaker is more essential than learning a speech. Being a natural speaker means you are familiar with your topic. We are familiar with our topics. This is called a natural speaker. Like, for example, if I ask somebody from you to speak about yourself, you have plenty of content. Or about your parents, or about your school, about your dreams. We have plenty of content. So that is why natural speakers should be trained more. And how do you train yourself? For example, today we have ended the session. You have done. But now you want to go home and speak again. And some of you are enthusiastic to become public speakers. How will you try? How will you start? Communication at home. Be a speaker at home. Let your family, parents, and uncles and cousins, they sit and you deliver only a 3 to 5 minutes of talk, at least twice a week. And you will notice that within 6 months, you're becoming a natural speaker. It doesn't require lots of efforts like bodybuilding. You go to the gym for 1 hour, or you go to a beauty salon and spend a lot of time to look beautiful. No. Public speaking is very natural. You only require to start communicating. And how to build a content? Write 1 page every day on any topic you like. Like they call it a diary, I call it a content compilation. Content compilation. When you start writing, you become a better speaker. And when you start speaking, your writing also improves. So they are a pair. They go together. Never miss out opportunities. For example, there is a death in the family. Stand up and speak about the concept of death in Islam for 5 minutes. Because that is the time where everybody wants to hear something that soothes their soul. Pick up these opportunities. Start reading hadith, good books, and compile knowledge. The more knowledge, the more communication write-ups, and this is how I myself become a writer now. I never knew I would become a writer or a speaker. In my school days, my principal used to scold the teacher for even selecting me. I used to get the last rank, but I didn't give up. As that girl said, never give up. I didn't give up. So I wanted to become, Allah guided me, and He chose me to speak on the behalf of His religion and my community. Though there are many topics I can speak about, but right now I am just helping you all to improve your communication skills. When you go back home, keep a habit of discussing what happened at school, what happened in the office, instead of just watching television, sports, entertainment. Let us sit together, switch off the television, switch off your mobiles, and start conversing among yourselves. Ask questions to each other, start reasoning, throw up a question and start getting answers from family members. You will notice there will be a bonding and an improvement in your communication. Otherwise, you will be thinking on the behalf of somebody else who comes and tells you on television. You won't be able to think on your own. You won't be able to decide on your own. Somebody else decides because you are watching them, and you end up being a victim of some other ideologies. So keep on practicing, and those people who will be getting highest marks, I congratulate them in advance. And those students who might miss out by a couple of marks also, I don't console them, but I tell them it's an opportunity that you got to speak before the audience. Awards and prizes do not matter, especially for a talent. And speaking is a talent. So you keep on continuing speaking even after this session is over. Irrespective whether you get an award or not, you're chosen here to speak, that itself is an award. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.